Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Jayla J. Shell if you are new, and in today's video, you guys, we're gonna talk all things grad school, okay? We're gonna have an in-depth conversation about the things that I honestly wish I knew before starting grad school, and about just some of the things that I've learned along the way. So if you are interested in that, then keep on watching. So just as a little bit of background before I get started, if you are new to my channel, I am Jayla J. Shell, obviously, and I am just finishing my first semester of graduate school. I am in the Political Science Master's program at my school, and it has been very interesting. I recently graduated with my undergrad degree in the spring of 2020, so this is all very much so new for me, very fresh, and I'm just gonna give you guys the raw and real experience that I've had. You guys, I will not lie, it was not easy whatsoever. Luckily, I did finish with just A's and B's, so I'm very proud of that. Y'all, I came in with my expectations up here for myself, and then the semester went on and they just kind of lowered and lowered and lowered, and something tells me that's gonna happen every semester, because it is just, honestly, it's just nothing that you can truly mentally prepare for. So that was a big thing for me. I found it truly important to only have positive energy around me, and to ensure that I just wasn't getting distracted by anything that really just didn't matter. Because when I tell you this becomes your life, this becomes your life. So if you are interested in going to grad school, it is obviously a lot more rigorous than, you know, any other school, because obviously you're interested in hiring your education, or obtaining a higher education rather, and it's definitely just going to be more difficult, you know. But honestly, I just like to tell myself anything that's truly worth getting and that's truly going to benefit me, it's just not going to be that easy to get, okay? So you just have to keep that in mind, because there will be many days that you really sit and you're just like, why did I do this to myself? Why am I here? Why? I asked myself so many whys, and then I would call my parents and ask them why, and it's like, you can't do that. You just honestly just have to stay really focused. So that's honestly how my first semester went. I will say that it was a lot of work. One thing that I feel like people expect out of grad school is that there's going to be a lot of papers, long papers, and you know, a lot of stuff like that, but it's like that to the fifth power. Yes, there's a lot of essays, weekly, of course. You'll probably write a bajillion mini papers, and then you'll have these long research papers. Personally, I did have a research paper per course, and in grad school 3 classes is full-time, so I did have about, I think my papers ranged from 15 pages to 23 pages, so I had 3 of those. And honestly, you guys, one thing that I have learned from being in grad school, this isn't really something that I wish I knew. I feel like I kind of knew this, but it really kind of slapped me in the face, was that you cannot procrastinate. There is no procrastination, you guys. You cannot wait on anything. It's just unreasonable. It's just not gonna work. You have too much going on if you are a full-time student, and procrastinating on absolutely anything is just gonna be so detrimental, you guys. For example, if you are in grad school, or if it's something that you've done a bit of research on, you know that academic articles are gonna become your bestie, your best friend, okay? And usually your professors will assign you academic articles to read, and those academic articles could be 4 pages and they could be 80 pages, and you just have to hope that you get lucky and you get something in the middle, because there have been days where I waited to do my readings because I had other stuff going on, or I was overwhelmed, or I just was being lazy and waited, and honey, I opened up that academic article and it said 60 pages, 80 pages, 30 pages, and I need to read this in however much time before I have class where I need to talk about it. So there is honestly absolutely no way you can wait on this stuff, you guys. You're going to do a lot of reading. So that brings me to the next thing that I've learned while being in grad school, which is there are no shortcuts. Like, taking shortcuts is honestly just going to hurt yourself. There's always ways to figure out how to make things easier for yourself, but there's no way to just completely avoid your studies. And you want to keep in mind that you shouldn't even want to do that, or personally I don't, because this is something that I chose to do. I was not forced to go to grad school. Nobody's making me do this. So obviously I'm doing it because this is something I want to do deep down, y'all. Very deep down right now, okay? Me and grad school are not friends. We have a toxic relationship. But this is something that I honestly signed up for. I chose a major that I'm interested in, which is political science. And even though it's a complete 180 from journalism, well, not really, but I guess the learning style is, I've just found that there's no way I even want to cheat myself by taking shortcuts or just neglecting my work or anything, because at the end of the day, if this is something I'm studying and it's something I'm interested in, I obviously want to apply it in some way, shape, or form to my career or my profession. So cheating yourself is just, that's not gonna work, because if you want to get a job in that profession, how are you gonna cheat yourself or not do your readings and not do your work, and then now you really don't know what you talk about when you graduate? So something that I wish I knew before starting grad school is that you are going to have to completely change the way that you think, you guys. I mean, you have to kind of rearrange your brain and your thought process and kind of train yourself to develop an analytical mind, because you're going to do a lot of research, you're going to do a lot of asking questions and looking for those answers, and it's going to take a different type of mindset than what you may be used to. Also, the teaching styles are different. Like, a lot of things won't be taught on a basic level. It's kind of just assume that you know that. You kind of know what the basics are of whatever lesson is being taught, and whatever needs to actually be broken down will be broken down. But if you really don't know the basics, whatever they're talking about later, you're definitely not going to understand. So definitely do your research on whatever it is that you are going to study prior to entering your program, because you want to make sure that you're not ever feeling like completely lost. So something else that I've learned since being in grad school, and also something I guess I kind of wish I knew, even though I kind of knew but I didn't, but I'm just going to tell you what it is. It was that it's going to be super crucial, you guys, to interact with your colleagues. I think that especially right now in this Zoom university era, you really don't expect to have much interaction with people, and on Zoom, kind of opening your computer to go to school, you're really not feeling that motivated to talk and interact. You just kind of want to get your lesson in and like move on. And personally, all my classes are at nighttime, so after 3 hours, baby, I'm not feeling very social. Like, it's just not happening. But you have to force yourself to honestly be like that. You have to make sure that you're interacting with your colleagues, because one thing about it is when you do start grad school, you will feel very alone. There's going to be a lot of days, especially in the beginning, that you may not know how to do something, or you're trying to figure out what a professor meant, or you're kind of uneasy about something, and there's really like nobody to talk to, because this is new for everybody and you don't really know how to reach out to people, or maybe nobody talks in the group chat or something. So I found it really important, and I think my colleagues did as well, that we kind of joined heads together and just made sure that we developed some sort of relationship for the sake of survival, you guys. Like, you cannot do it alone. There's gonna be times when you genuinely need to ask someone a question, or you genuinely don't think you understood something the way someone else might have. So that's something that I found to be super important. Just have to be open-minded and really not be afraid to interact with new people. So while we're on the topic of interacting with people, it's going to be extremely important, and this is something that I honestly kind of wish I knew as well that you develop relationships with your professors. I personally did this because I've always just found it really important that I've made myself known to my professor, but also because there was a class where I genuinely had no idea what was going on, and I had to just come to her and be like, you know, honestly, I'm struggling with a few things, or this homework kind of tripped me up and I don't think I did the best, and we were able to work it out and I was able to do really well in that class. So it's going to be extremely crucial that you develop relationships with your professors for that reason, because they will look out for you. So as someone who is a planner, who likes to know everything that I'm gonna do from now to 5 years from now, this was a shocker for me, you guys. So apparently your plans may change, okay? Your plans after grad school may completely flip and change on you. I think an important thing about grad school is that there's gonna be many days where you're like, what am I doing? Like, why am I still in school? Why am I pushing myself to do this? I could just be working. I could just be here. I could just be there. But like, you really will learn about a lot about yourself. So another thing that is very important that I did learn in my first semester of grad school is that research is going to be key. When you get into your program, whatever it may be, for me specifically with political science, it's very important that I have research interest and I know exactly what it is that I want to kind of get out of this program and out of this degree. So I really did have to do some research kind of right before starting the program on exactly what I was interested in, at least in that moment, because once you're in the program and once you're in the groove, you'll realize that a lot of your papers and a lot of your work and studies is going to be catered towards what you're actually interested in, which is completely different from undergrad. It's kind of like you have to go through all the steps that they tell you to take, and then you can kind of choose your electives. This is kind of like you take the required courses in the beginning, and then from there, figure it out, okay? And you just better hope it works out. So it's very important to at least know what it is that you're interested in, so that you kind of have a good idea of how your time in the program is gonna go. So if you guys are interested in going to grad school, I definitely encourage you to do so. Like I said before, definitely find something and choose a major that you are truly interested in and that you feel like will truly benefit you or your goals or your passions in some way, shape, or form, you guys. I definitely encourage you to take this step, take your time, and do your research, you guys. It's definitely worth it in the end. Obviously, having more degrees brings you more money and more opportunities, so it's always going to be a plus at the end of the day. But yeah, I definitely say go for it, you know, wherever you are in life, and if it's something you've been pondering on and you kind of need some confirmation to at least take a step towards it, definitely take this as that confirmation, you guys. That concludes this video, you guys. I think I pretty much covered everything. If you do have any questions about grad school, about my program in particular, about my school in particular, about anything, just let me know in the comment section below, and I would be very happy to answer those questions. And if you guys want to see like a part 2 of this, if you guys want like a story time or something regarding grad school and me working towards my master's degree, then definitely let me know in the comment section below. But other than that, you guys, that is it for today, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you guys so much for tuning into another Jayla J. Shell video. Stay lovely, stay safe, stay amazing. Y'all, I'm trying not to show you my nails because I'm trying not to show y'all. They look a mess, okay? They look a mess. So if I'm very awkward with my hands and they're down here, because they need to be. These are atrocious. But anyways, you guys, stay lovely, stay safe, stay amazing, and I will see you guys in the next video.